With its engaging mechanics and over-the-top presentation, Bright's Memory 1.0 was an amazing first-person shooter that blew my tiny mind. This was made more impressive by the fact it was coded primarily by a single bloke, but with the end credits rolling in less than 30 minutes, it felt like I was playing an appetizer for the main course. Thankfully, the complete experience is finally here. Let's give the game a spin and find out if it lives up to the hype. The story is built upon a clean slate with no connection to the original 1.0 release, although Shelia is still being tasked with saving the world from being destroyed by a mysterious black hole. The storyline is dragged down by the paper-thin plot and one-dimensional characters, nor is there any tension to keep players invested in the narrative. This is compounded by the mediocre script and stilted acting, but thankfully the story beats a brief and never overstay their welcome. The real meat and potatoes can be found in the moment-to-moment gameplay. Like its predecessor, Infinite plays like the love child of Bulletstorm and Shadow Warrior with a dash of Devil May Cry. The gun selection is once again on the meager side, but a new secondary fire function has been added to every weapon. You have the pistol that not only behaves like a submachine gun, but also doubles as a grenade launcher that fires off incendiary rounds. The assault rifle is great for taking down mid-range foes, with tracking bullets being deployed if you hit the alternate fire key. The shotgun is best reserved for close encounters with your choice of ballistics or shrapnel bombs that will burn the enemy to a crisp. While the newly added sniper rifle is ideal for long-range targets with sticky grenades as the secondary attack. In addition to the thrilling gunfights, players can also engage in melee combat using Shelia's sword. After some practice, it's even possible to deflect projectiles and parry physical attacks. The final gadget in your arsenal is the Exo Arm that manipulates foes using EMS. The Exo Arm also delivers a powerful blow that gives the Falcon Punch a run for its money, as the Rocket Punch not only dishes out a ton of damage, but also knocks down enemies like they were wheelie bins.
Falcon Punch!
Mixing all these different mechanics together is not only satisfying, but is also the key to claiming victory, especially when the game deploys a mixture of armed soldiers and supernatural beings. Learning to adjust your playstyle for each enemy type is the best way to avoid meeting one's Waterloo. But the most challenging encounters are no doubt against the giant bosses and their massive health bars. If you wish to fight the bosses on a level playing field, I recommend exploring the environments and finding relics to upgrade your skills. The entire campaign will take around 2 hours to complete. This seems short even compared to the typical 5-hour campaigns that characterize the Call of Duty series, but keep in mind that Bright's Memory is technically an indie game that carries a $20 price tag. On the flip side, the short length means that Bright's Memory maintains a strong pace with action that is the highest of all octanes. This is complemented by the kinetic soundtrack that never fails to match the on-screen action. However, the game loses a bit of steam during the stealth mission and driving sequence. Both sections feel undercooked compared to other aspects of the game. Thankfully, they only last for a few minutes and fulfill the order of adding variety to the campaign. There's also a random sequence that involves gunning down a bunch of feral pigs for no plot-related reason. Perhaps the developer has a grudge against the pig cops in Duke Nukem 3D?
And this little piggy went to hell.
As stated earlier, the entire game can be finished in 2 hours, but the game offers some replay value in the form of additional difficulty modes that will test the might of those feeling brave enough. If you beat the game on Revenge mode, you'll gain access to Hell mode. No prizes for guessing that Hell mode is insanely difficult and doesn't hold back any punches. Completing the game on each difficulty unlocks new digs for Shelia, while killing a certain number of enemies for each weapon unlocks a new skin for that weapon. Annoyingly, half of these extra costumes and weapon skins are locked behind a paywall. I find this to be an anti-consumer move that sours the relationship with fans that brought the original 1.0 release. I don't advocate putting visuals above gameplay, but there's no escaping the fact that Bright's Memory is a beautiful game. The studio has done an incredible job of producing highly detailed visuals with a strong art direction that draws inspiration from Chinese mythology. This is complemented by the entire game taking place during a powerful rainstorm, resulting in this amazing atmosphere that includes rain-soaked environments and individual foliage being blown by the wind. After my graphics rant, it should come as no surprise that you'll need some expensive hardware to enjoy this game at a high fidelity. RTX owners will no doubt have the best experience as Bright's Memory supports both ray tracing and DLSS. I personally played the game on my RTX 3070 with high settings at 4K and had no trouble running the game at 60 FPS, although I had to rely on DLSS to maintain these high metrics. Unsurprisingly, performance takes a hit when you enable ray tracing, with the payoff being the additional flair that comes with this effect. I'll be curious to see how this game runs on the Xbox Series X, especially with the developer trying to implement ray tracing using DXR. While the mediocre storytelling and short length might put a damper on the game, there's no denying that Bright's Memory Infinite is a tightly paced experience that blends fast-paced shootouts with engaging melee combat. It's also among the most visually striking games to ever grace the PC, with incredible art direction and special effects that truly feel special. I really enjoyed my time playing this game, and I cannot wait to see what the studio does in the near future.